Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, June 10th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts as a trader, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, a couple of clarification points. First off, this number you see over here will still be changing, and then this bar, or otherwise known as a candlestick, will still be moving because the market is still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then next, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame. So what that means for you beginners is that each one of these candlesticks, as I said, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, ticker symbol PBTS. And very, very impressive movement. But what makes this very interesting is this whole dynamic of a pullback, and not necessarily the pullback itself, but the fact that seemingly the pullback has now stopped and started to go sideways and even has started to trend back upwards. Now, does that mean that for sure guaranteed that the downwards movement is done? Of course not. No such thing as a guarantee. But is it plausible? Is it valid to think that maybe this pullback is over and maybe the price now going to gain some momentum again and head back upwards? Yeah, that's absolutely a plausible thought process to have. So the level that stands out to me, and I think a lot of people will be watching it, is right there at $1.20. Again, no such thing as a guarantee, but is it valid to think that if the price can come up to $1.20 and then get the break up through it, that break could create and cause some more upside buying pressure? In my mind, that is a very rational scenario to think about. As far as levels of support are concerned, for those of you that like to play pullbacks, interesting area down there around the 95-cent mark. But yeah, definitely a nice, interesting pattern here. So let's see what happens with it on Friday. Next one, IMPP. Did this one yesterday, and you can see this trend line here. Price did get the breakout through it and actually made a very nice move this morning with that break. Going to go ahead and get rid of that as we do some updates here. First data I'm going to do is just a little bit of an adjustment. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this level of support now up to that level at 77 cents. And the one observation there, whenever levels of support need to be adjusted in the upwards direction, that's always a good thing from the overarching standpoint, because that does imply that those lows are getting higher and higher. And that's what you want to see from a trend building standpoint. So definitely some good action there in terms of just higher lows being built. In terms of areas of resistance, main area that now stands out to me, going to be that resistance trend line right there, which puts the that breakout area right around, let's call it 85, 86 cents. But overall, let me squeeze this down here a little bit more. You can see that the trend continues. And when you think these lows used to be down here in the 40s and then the 50s and then, the high 50s and then the low 70s, and now they're up here in the high 70s. It speaks for itself. For those of you that are maybe more visual, if you want to picture those as stair steps, you can see these stair steps continue to progress in the upwards direction. And that's the name of the game. Next one, BRQS, and what an absolute train wreck. What an ugly looking chart, but for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. But there can be opportunity in the ugly. And this is also a situation where if you're undisciplined, if you're not willing to cut losses on your stop losses, then you shouldn't even think, you shouldn't be trading in the first place. But that's a whole other discussion. You certainly should not be taking situations like this, because this is very dependent on, hey, you know what, it might not work out because this downwards move here, maybe this is just the start of something much worse. But you also have to throw out there, or maybe this is just overblown panic. Maybe this is more panic than what it should actually be, and potentially some sort of double bottom pattern is going to form, which makes 16 cents a very interesting level. Because as you see here, last time the price was down there, a very nice bounce has happened. But let me be very clear, and I've said it already, but I'll probably say it dozens more times. There are no guarantees. So I'm not saying that if the price goes down to 16, that because it's done it before, it's going to for sure do it again. I'm only saying that because it has done it before, it makes sense to at least question and to say, hey, maybe it could bounce from that level. But to be fair, like I said, maybe it doesn't, and that's why those stop losses and risk management matters. But from a risk versus reward standpoint, meaning if you do actually get a bounce, or who knows, maybe even a reversal, the reward relative to what was being risked could be very much so in your favor. So if you like to play these situations where you have ugly looking charts, but maybe it's overblown panic, then keep an eye on this one. Next one, AUVI, and same general premise as the first one we talked about. Got a big move up, did pull back, but at least with the pullback, it has now started to at least go sideways, which suggests and makes it plausible to think, okay, maybe the downwards movement's over. Maybe this is just kind of congesting and now ready to move back to the upside, which makes a level that I think a whole lot of people will be watching right here at, $2.85. You can see that time after time after time, the price got rejected from that level, which doesn't mean that it's going to continue to be rejected, but it does mean that if a lot of people are watching it and call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, but it makes it valid to think that if the price does get up there and breaks up through there, that break in and of itself could create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure. So definitely keep an eye on 285 from a resistance standpoint. As far as supports are concerned, key level of support, if there is any sort of pullback, seems to be right down there around that $2.30 mark. But at least in my opinion, the most intriguing dynamic about this one is, can this thing consolidate and then get the break to the upside? Let's see what happens with it on Friday. Next one, AMC, not a great day, but to be fair, the markets did not have a very good day at all either. An update certainly need to be done. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines here. And the first key update is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So going into the day, that level there at about 1305 was a key level. And to be fair, it did hold up as support initially, both there and there. But then when the price fell below it on that 30-minute candle, you can see an attempted bounce back upwards, but right there, classic example of that support now acting as resistance. So I'm not saying that the price can never get back above there. I'm just saying that it makes sense why the price did struggle, and that moving into Friday and then next week, if there are any sort of bounces, that's where the big question mark comes into play. Not only can the price get back up to that level, but more importantly, can the price actually break above it and then stay above it? So keep a close eye on 1305 as that main area of resistance. As far as supports are concerned, the price is sitting right at the level that you would want to see hold strong, which is that pink line, which on my chart displays the very well-known, the very famous 200-period moving average. And like I said, so far so good. Bounce from it, and then bounce from it. So right now that's valid at, let's just call it $12.59. So that'll be the ideal level. But in the event that level does not quite hold up, next key area of support after that would then be down there right around $12.20. So yeah, rough day today, but let's see how it closes out the week on Friday. I want to take a quick break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you see and you want to learn more about this tool and how it should be used to help build consistency as a trader, then certainly get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage. But one quick note, depending on when you watch this video, maybe the class has already happened because it is live and it is happening this evening. And with that being said, I understand sometimes maybe you already have something on your schedule, or if you're watching this Friday morning, maybe you just already missed it. But if you would like to see the recording of it, because it will be recorded, but after the event is done, I'd be happy to send you an email. So go ahead, drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'll send you a link to the recording. But again, it's live, so it first needs to be recorded before I can send it out, but I'd be happy to do that. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up. Next one here, NIO, and rough day with this one after earnings. And first update, actually, let me just get that out of there for now. But first update comes based on that rule, which I stated earlier, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if there is any sort of bigger bounce, $19.80 is going to be that first key level that you'll want to keep an eye on. But even before then, the more near-term level is going to be that purple line, the 50-period moving average, currently valued at 1945. So 1945 and then 1980 going to be those main areas of resistance. As far as levels of support are concerned, first key level to watch, going to be right there at $18.70. And then if things get a bit more sketchy to the downside, next level would then be right down there at $18.35. But yeah, pretty rough day today, but we'll see if the price can at least start to make some upwards recovery on Friday. Next one, ticker symbol NXTP, and like the pattern on this one and the fact that it's a penny stock that's got a lot of volume, because I know a lot of people do like the penny stocks. So the first level that stands out to me from the support side of things, right down here at the 33-cent mark. You can see the price went down there a couple of times and did, hold strong, did credit where credit's due. And then, in my opinion, granted, yeah, I get it. There are pullback players out there, but I think in the world of penny stocks, there's probably more breakout players. And I think there's a nice, well-defined breakout area right here at the 40-cent mark. So, as I've said, no such thing as a guarantee, but is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price can get up there and break through there and kind of prove that it wants to, end this sideways consolidation by breaking up through that level, then again, that doesn't guarantee that it's actually the end and the price is going to actually keep moving, but it does make it valid to think that way. So in my mind, 40 cents, very interesting level if you like to play penny stocks and like to play these breakout type patterns. Next one, BJDX. Really like this one, mainly just because of the pattern here, which, let me be very clear, I'm not trying to imply that this is a special talent or a secret discovery. A lot of people have noticed this pattern, particularly in regard to that trend line right there. I assure you, lots of people have drawn that trend line. And then to finish out the pattern, we have that area of support right there. So let me actually change that to green to represent more so the bullish dynamic of it all. And then to make this all the same color, maybe easier to see, we have our resistance, we have our support, we have our momentum move right there. And if make it a little bit more visual, let's put the golf hole down there. And we have a bull pennant pattern. So again, while nothing is guaranteed, when you know you have a bunch of eyeballs watching the same thing, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, whatever you want. But if the price can actually get up there and break through the top part of that pattern, it does make sense to think that, okay, that could prompt a whole lot more of upside buying pressure. So if you like to play this price range and play bull pennant patterns, I'd definitely say get this one on your watch list. Next one, AERC, which depending on your strategy kind of dictated how today went, meaning if you're a day trader and you like to play breakouts, then that trend line that I drew over the past couple of videos, got the breakout right there and had a very, very nice movement for a nice breakout trade from a day trading standpoint. But if you're somebody that was wanting bigger things, then yeah, this was just one big tease because you can see did make a breakout, consolidated, and then as I speak right now, you can see latter part of the day, the price has completely given up all those gains. So like I said, is this a bad or good looking chart? Really just depends on your matter of perspective, because for day traders that bought that breakout, yeah, that was a very nice trade there and nice day for them. As far as, getting levels updated now moving forward, going to go ahead and adjust this area of support down. Now that we have more data, seems to be the more recent level of support now is sitting there at $8.50. And then the current and kind of newest, at least trendline breakout level, sitting right there at that area, which puts it right up around, let's call it $11.25, give or take. But yeah, like I said, if you were getting your hopes up because of that breakout, I understand you were completely rational to have your hopes up. But yeah, sometimes the market is cruel, and that breakout turned to be just a completely false breakout. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and brutal day on this one. I mean, to think that at one point, that trend line there seemed completely irrelevant, given that at one point the price was all the way up there. But then you fast forward to the end of the day, and not only did that trend line become relevant, the price actually broke down below it. So that just really, in my mind at least, illustrates how rough today was. And you got to be very, now to be fair, once again, the overall markets had a terrible day. So it's not like Tesla just did this randomly, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it was still a brutal day here. But let's map out some newer levels here headed into Friday. And first level that I'll be very curious about, does the price pull back more to get down to that pink line, the 200 period moving average right now valid at, let's just call it $712. So that'll definitely be an area of interest if the price can get down to that area. And if that level is tested and then fails, then it becomes, well, is the price really going to go all the way down to that round number of 700? And if it does, what happens at 700? Because everybody is going to be watching 700. So those would be the couple areas from the support standpoint. In terms of areas of resistance, if there is any sort of a movement back to the upside, I would personally be very curious up around that $732 mark. But yeah, no need to beat around the bush. Today was a brutal, brutal day. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for the free class that I offer. So hopefully I'll see you there. But as a reminder, if you can't make it because you already have something on your schedule, or if you're watching this Friday morning and you've already missed the live event, it will be recorded. So go ahead and drop me an email to clay@claytrader.com. But yes, if you can make it, it will be this evening, Thursday, June 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these live videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make these live watch lists, then please let me know by doing two easy things. Hit the like button, leave a basic comment, say hi, tell me what you traded today. Give me a smiley face emoji. But those two things go a long way in communicating to me that you are enjoying. And as long as I know people are enjoying, I'll continue to put in the time and effort required to structure these live watch list videos. So everybody take care, get signed up for the class, and hopefully I'll be seeing you here very soon.